Welcome back to the channel. In this review, we're going to be looking at the Masters of the Universe Origins Rise of Evil Target Exclusive 2-pack. With this 2-pack, it actually comes in a box-style packaging instead of the blister card like with the rest of the individual figures. Like on all the Masters of the Universe Origins stuff, you have some beautiful artwork on the top of the box, around the sides, the edges of the box. Artwork on the top of the box. Even the artwork on the other figures in the line is done artwork as well. You can swap out the heads. You can either be Keldor or Skeletor. Kronis is just Kronis. There's no other interchangeable parts for him to make a trap jaw out of them, which would have been nice if you actually could have got some trap jaw parts for him. Maybe like done like a filmation style or different looks for Kronis, or an alternate head, because that is ugly. The big window lets you see everything in the packaging. You got the Havoc staff, which has like a glowy, translucent material that's painted purple at the bottom to give it like a glowing effect. Same with the Skeletor sword. The alternate head for Keldor to be Skeletor. I love the translucent eyes, the red eyes inside of that. Really like a Alcala style head. Here we can see the figures in the plastic tray. You can see all the accessories better. Got the alternate head for Skeletor, Havoc staff. Kronis comes with a rifle, like the classic style motif rifle. And on the back, you see there's a slit on the back for the Keldor's cape to come through. Here are the figures outside the plastic tray. First off, let's look at the accessories up close. We have the Havoc staff with the translucent green material with the bottom paint purple. Outside the packaging, it's got almost like a tacky feel to the painted purple area. Kind of odd feeling. I'll have to try to wash that up a little bit, see if we get that like a residue, like a mold release, or we shouldn't have a mold release since it's been painted over, but it feels weird. I'll have to see if I can clean that up. We have the sword. It's got a little bit of that feel to it, but you can see the translucency of the material. And the bottom half is painted purple. We have Kronis' gun. The handle is warped from in the packaging where he's holding the gun. A little bit of hot water should be able to fix that. And we have the Skeletor head. It's got a very Alcala style look to it, like for the mini comics. And speaking of noggins, we have a really nice Keldor head. And I never did get the Keldor from Classics, but from what I can tell, this is a modified, just pretty much a Keldor head modified for Origins. As a modification, they changed the neck peg. Because it's molded in blue, it's that painted blue skin, and they didn't clean up the edges like on the jawline for the mold lines really well. But as far as I can tell, the only really difference is the socket and the paint job. Now they missed you can see the eyebrows are molded on, but they missed the eyebrows with the paint. I'm thinking I'm actually going to be making a Classics Keldor. I'll take this, do a nice paint job on it, and use an extra Skeletor, and make a Keldor. I know I won't have the right feet and forearms, but I might be able to swap out some boots. But that looks really good. I like to use the Classics mold for this. Now, one thing I wish they did, use the Kronis head for Kronis, because that is one ugly mug. Now they really should have used the Kronis head, the Classics Kronis head, for this, because this is one ugly mug. I don't know why it made such an ugly looking face. And they could have used the Classics. It's the same size. They could have done with Keldor and just modify the neck socket, the ball socket, to fit this. Which I'm going to heat this up right quick and pop it on here so it'll look. And a lot of people tell you, like, oh, you can't put these on here without modifying them. A little bit of heat, they pop right on these ball joints.
A few minutes later.
Okay, let's see. Heated up the Kronis head. And that looks so much better. Why didn't they just use this head? Colors don't match, but it looks good. What I would suggest for this figure is get a casting of this head. Now there's a few online stores that does castings, like a Plastic Curves and a few others does classics heads. You got such a great alternative head for Keldor to be Skeletor. Or you can just use, or the Keldor head itself. It looks great. And they give us this ugly thing for Kronis, when they could have just reused the classics head for Kronis like they did for Keldor. That looks so much better. It actually looks better proportioned too. the Origins head is bigger. I don't know. It's kind of strange. Like I said, all I did is heat this up some hot water, popped on. A lot of people are talking about you gotta modify classics heads to fit on Origins. You can't just pop them on. No, but a little heat, you can pop them on just fine. It will temporarily stretch out the sockets on the classics heads, but reheat the heads back, and the sockets are relaxed back to the normal position. Let's look at Keldor right quick. Keldor looks really good. I like the color they went with for Keldor. So much more. It's just a little bit different from the first release Skeletor. The blue is like a slightly little bit darker, less saturated. And of course, the purple is much darker than on the first release Skeletor. And with the chest armor on Keldor, not only is it just a darker purple, it actually has more paint. They actually painted the bat logo a nice green, and the jewel at the center of the crossbones is painted like a lavender. On the standard release of Skeletor, it's just straight up bare plastic. No paint whatsoever. To me, I actually picked up a second set of the Rise of Evil. I got the first set from Target.com, and they smashed my box up pretty good. And I don't normally keep my packaging, but for this one, I love the artwork on it. Nice packaging. I was planning on keeping it. They will trash that one, so I'll trash that one. So I got an extra one just to keep in, because I want to display Keldor as both Skeletor and Keldor, because this is such a much better looking Skeletor than Skeletor. That weird. I know they're doing a 2.0 of the version 1 style Skeletor with a different head and a new power sword. But if you got this one, you don't need that one. All you have to do is just pop the Skeletor head on this one. Other new parts for this one is the cape itself, which is a really nice sculpt for the Origins line. It bellows out, doesn't hinder the figure any. Keldor also got new boots from the boot cut down. They are styled more like what you see on classic Skeletor. You got the double-ridged armored shin-covered boots, shin guards up top. And you got new shoe feet, which these are not sculpted very well. They look more like clown shoes to me than anything, because they look like a dress shoe instead of a boot. And the profile is really thin, and they're really long and bulbous at the front. Plus, the location of the pin doesn't allow for a good ankle pivot. It's more like a slight twist than an ankle pivot. Let's put the Skeletor head on. That is a much better looking Skeletor than this. So much better looking figure. This is going to be my Skeletor, my Origins display. I still have this one. I can put one on the Panther, and one leading his minions. But this is such a great looking update. I like the cape, addition to the cape. I'm really partial to the 2000X series. So I really like the capes for Skeletor. The sword, I know some people was having issues with him going to hold the sword. Mine holds the sword just fine. No issues there. This was going to be my Skeletor for Origins. Now I have an extra one to be Keldor. And I have an extra head since I bought 2 of these. And I'll make a Keldor for Classics. Okay, let's do a quick look at Kronis. Kronis is as people don't know, that's what whose Trapjaw was before he became Trapjaw. And when he fought a rebellion against Skeletor, and Skeletor really messed him up. He blew his arm off, ripped his jaw off. He was rebuilt to be one of Skeletor's minions. He took the name Trapjaw. Speaking of Trapjaw, let's go ahead and do a quick comparison with the Origins Trapjaw. It's either you got the same color scheme, just the ugly head, and same lower body, same waist, just difference. He don't have the belt. He has a different style chest harness. This one just has this is actually has a unique chest. This is not a separate piece. Like with on the Classics one, this was a separate piece. You could actually, when you take the arm off, this would come off. But you get that with this harness. The other differences with versus Kronis versus Trapjaw, he has a different style arm. He's got the Roboto style arm. It's got their standard Master style arms with the bracers, the gauntlets down at the wrist. On each side, you can actually swap parts in between the two. Their skin tones are pretty well matched to each other. At first I thought this one was a little darker skin tone. I decided to do some mix and matching of the parts and go between the Kronis and Trapjaw. All the parts swap in between, except for there's a little issue with the Trapjaw head. There's a little edges. The neck was unique to Trapjaw. If you really want to use the Kronis body, you would actually have to modify the head just a little bit. You take a little Dremel tool and cut the little ridges out inside. But it makes a really nice looking different version of Trapjaw. Another cool thing about with this harness that comes with Kronis, you can actually put the Trapjaw weapons on his back. And that is nice if you want to, like I said, if you want to use this for a different look for Trapjaw, that works out really good. Other than the ugly noggin on Kronis, the other issue he has a open style pose hand and one grip hand. But his gun requires 2 grip hands. You can hold it here, but he really needs a second grip hand to hold the other handle. I don't know why they didn't just give him 2 grip hands. Or, since these hands are removable, start giving us some alternate hands for these figures. It's no big deal. If you do it with everything else, give us some alternate hands for the Origins. For articulation of the figures, we've seen this multiple times with the same articulation scheme on pretty much all the Origins figures. There is a ball peg for the neck. You can move all around. Double ball peg. So you can, with Kronis, you can look basically straight ahead, down, wiggle from side to side, tilts, full 360, hinge and swivel shoulders. Kick out this far, full 360. There's no bicep swivel. There's a hinged at the elbow, which rotates, which simulates the bicep swivel. Hinge and swivel wrist. There's no type of articulation. There's just a waist twist. Ball joint hips. Kick forward like that. Up to the side, to the back. The knees are the same as the elbows. You have a hinge back. Rotation at the knee. There's boot cut. Hinged ankles, which are limited on Kronis with the Trapjaw style boots. Can't really go back any. forward a little bit. Just a little bit of tilt. With the Keldor Keldor, the ankles, you can go back this far, forward this far, and you get the not a very good ankle pivot on this one. It's like the angle is off on these flat feet. Those are some flat feet. Let's do a quick comparison with a few other Master Universe figures. Here we have them alongside the regular Skeletor and Trapjaw. Here we have them with a Master Universe Classic Skeletor and Trapjaw. All in all, these are two great additions to my ever-growing Master Universe Origins collection. My only real big gripe with it, I wish they would have used the Classics Kronis head for Kronis. Because the head sculpt it comes with is hideous, which I will end up painting a casting and getting a casting or making a casting of this one and putting on that body, because this is so much better than what it comes with. They used the Classics Keldor head. Why couldn't they do that with Kronis? And Kronis also should have came with a 2 grip hands so he can hold his gun properly. Skeletor's feet are kind of flat and ugly, and the articulation don't work properly. They're kind of a little bit like clown shoes. Now look at them. They are very long and flat and wide. Very much like clown shoes. I don't know what they were thinking with sculpting those. When these first started coming out, they were extremely hard to get. Now they're pretty well about saturated the market. So easy to pick up. And if you're enjoying the Origins line, grab these two. They are great figures. Even if you don't like Kronis, you can actually use them to rebuild Trapjaw with a different style look, different harness. And all, thank you to take the time to watch the review. Like, share, subscribe. If you have any questions, comment down below. And I'll see y'all next time.